We all want to believe in Batman. We all want to believe in one man willingly putting his own life at risk to stop bad people from hurting us and the people we care about. We all want to believe in Batman. But what we sometimes fail to realize is that Batman is fighting a war he cannot win. On October 18th, 2011, Batman Arkham City was released in North America to widespread critical acclaim, following Batman as he tries to shut down Arkham City, a mega prison for all the criminals of Gotham, run by the demented Hugo Strange. And at the same time, he's also trying to cure himself and the Joker of a deadly disease caused by Joker's overdose of Titan. Arkham City took everything Asylum had to offer and doubled it. There were more environments, more gadgets, more combat moves, more enemy types, more Riddler trophies than anyone should ever know what to do with. Seriously, Batman, where are you putting those things? Everything was bigger and better than it was before, and while I think something can be said for the more focused and self-contained Arkham Asylum, there's no denying that Arkham City was simply more of what everyone loved from before. I personally have played Arkham City more times than any self-respecting person ever should, but let's be honest, I'd already passed the point of no return on that one, so I'm not too concerned about it. But upon replaying the game one last time and really paying attention to the game's story, symbolism, and characters, I once again found a narrative with much more thematic depth than I was expecting. One that expanded on the themes of the original game, making them more complex and universal. In order to start analyzing this game, we need to re-examine an idea that was established in its predecessor. In Arkham Asylum, we saw that Batman was created by an emotional event, that being the death of his parents. The thing that drives and motivates him are the emotions resulting from this event, and a desire for no one else to have to feel them. In the last game, this was the thing that Batman fought against within himself, that no matter his emotional origins, he still could stand as a symbol of reason, balancing the two without failure. However, in this game, the idea is expanded upon somewhat as the game recognizes the necessity of that emotion in the first place. Batman wouldn't be Batman without that emotional motivation. It's the thing that drives him to do what he does. And if reason is what Batman is fighting for, then what we can say is that emotion and reason are needed for each other to exist. The emotions drive Batman, but his reason forms the goals and ideals that he reaches for. We can see this in Arkham City with the inclusion of Ra's al Ghul and his Lazarus. If Batman is an attempted balance between emotion and reason, then Ra's al Ghul is fully reason. He has no emotional motivation whatsoever, seeking to eliminate crime without any emotional connection to that goal. In fact, he would rather Batman kill him, take his place, and lead his group, the League of Shadows, in a way he never could. He's also willing to kill his own daughter, Talia, in order to force Batman's hand. Ra's has no emotional stakes in anything that's happening, doing what he does purely because he sees it as a logical course of action. In the game, Wonder City is the ideal Ra's is searching for. A practical utopia, Wonder City was supposed to be free of crime and hardship and worry. Wonder City was supposed to be Gotham's future, run by a substance known as Lazarus. Lazarus was a renewable energy source with powers beyond belief, allowing those who took of it to cheat death itself. Lazarus drove Wonder City, made it possible. But it was also the thing that killed it. In the present day of the game, the city, stuck as a ruin underneath Gotham, is plastered with cancelled signs, crumbling buildings, and a really bad ninja infestation. And if you read the Wonder City story, you'll find that Wonder City was shut down because prolonged exposure to the Lazarus chemical was driving the inhabitants insane. Likewise, Lazarus is the thing that keeps Ra's, the symbol of reason, going, rejuvenating him once he nears death, but it's also the thing that corrupts him.
I've used the Lazarus pit too many times. I've lived 600 years. My mind and body cannot take much more. Each time I enter the pit, I am frightened of what will come out.
Lazarus is the key to making Wonder City work, but it was also the thing that tore it down. Lazarus is a perfect representation of emotion's role in the human makeup, driving us forward, giving us the means by which to create the ideal, only to then be the greatest roadblock in the way of it. Ra's al Ghul's case is more symbolic, but there is a more human case within Arkham City. The deranged Hugo Strange. Strange is arguably the main villain of the game, a disciple of Ra's al Ghul who seeks to become a better version of the Batman by gathering all of the criminals of Gotham into Arkham City and killing them off in a process known as Protocol 10. Unlike Ra's al Ghul, Hugo Strange is motivated by an emotional desire for glory and recognition, which can be seen from the beginning of the game.
Protocol 10 is ready to begin. It will be my legacy. A monument to your failure.
To the end of it.
I have achieved what the great Batman could never do. Gotham will forever thank Hugo.
Strange! Hugo Strange has no selfless desire to stop criminals in Gotham. He merely wants to be known as the person that did it. He doesn't punish criminals during or after their crimes have been committed. He actually encourages the criminal activity in Arkham City by giving the inmates weapons and being purposely negligent of their actions, such as when Two-Face kidnaps and attempts to kill Catwoman.
Stand down. Let Two-Face have his fun.
His motives are completely emotional, but they do drive him to the more reasonable conclusion of trying to stop criminals in Gotham. What does it matter if your motives are selfish as long as that water gets to Africa, right? But it's these emotional motivations that result in Strange's ultimate downfall. Because what does Strange have to do if he wants the glory and recognition of being better than Batman? He has to prove himself better than Batman. And what do you do to prove yourself better than Batman but knowingly bringing Batman into the facility, telling him that Protocol 10 is a thing, which gives him a place to start, and thus allowing him to stop you? Ah, good old Hubris at it again. Good job, girl. Emotions drove Hugo Strange to do this. A need for recognition drove him to do this. But it was those exact same emotional motivations that ended up causing him to lose his battle for his ideal goal. Hugo Strange lost because his emotions got the better of him. So, emotions drive us forward, but they also tear us down. Without them, we have no motivation, but with them, our ideals can never be reached. Let's take that idea and go back to Batman. Emotions are ultimately what drive him, a desire for others not to be affected by crime as much as he was. But if we take both Ra's al Ghul and Hugo Strange into account, no, Batman always wins in the end, doesn't he? Batman doesn't fail. Just because he is driven by emotions doesn't mean he'll end up the same way as the others, right? Well, in order to understand that, we need to look again at Batman's internal conflict. We touched on it in the Arkham Asylum video, but there wasn't much to say other than that Batman was fighting against the emotional side of himself in order to embody reason and order more than emotions and chaos. But in this game, he's struggling to maintain the balance he's worked so hard to achieve. He's being pulled in several different directions, fighting against so many different villains with their own goals and drives. One second he's fighting Two-Face, the next he's fighting Penguin or Joker or Mr. Freeze, or he's sticking his 143rd Riddler trophy up his ass. Yeah, I beat the end of my rope too. But all of this is getting to him. It's breaking him down and weakening him. And all the while, he's fighting against the Joker's disease running through his veins, slowly killing him. This disease is representative of the internal conflict between his emotions and reason. Joker is, after all, a being of pure emotion in the same way Ra's is pure reason, and with the Joker inside of him, maybe I can word that a bit better. With the Joker thrusting, no, that makes it worse. Batman is fighting against this emotion, and it's slowly breaking him, killing him, appealing to the side of Batman that's more susceptible to emotional thinking. Bruce Wayne. Outside of the Chamber of the Demon, right before you meet Ra's for the first time, when the disease is having its worst effect, Batman sees his parents. They call out to him as Bruce. They beckon him to go with them, to stop. This is presumably all in Batman's head, so this is something he's actually considering. He just wants to give up. That's what his emotions believe he needs to do. Just stop, just die, it's over, you can't win. As much as his emotions have driven him to this point, they would rather him stop here. But Batman fights harder, and he gets up, and he keeps going. So Batman can still fight, can he? Batman is still going to succeed, right? Emotion might try to destroy his goal, but it won't. Right? Right? Batman does succeed in some ways. He does stop Protocol 10, but think of all the damage that was done before he stopped it. And then he fails to save Talia. Talia was the woman he loved, a chance at finding peace with another person, even if that chance was slim. But Talia dies. She dies because Batman's emotional motivations compelled him to save the most people possible instead by going after Hugo Strange. But in that, he still failed to complete his goal because he wasn't allowed to save everyone. Batman failed in his mission. Batman could never succeed in his mission. Batman's mission is futile because he's fighting against an essential and inseparable element of the human condition, one that he cannot even conquer himself. Batman can't win because emotion will always interfere with the ideal it drives us to create. I want to take a look at the very final scene of the game, just after Batman has effectively destroyed the Lazarus Pit. Batman has taken his portion of the cure and stands alone in the dim light of the on-fire pit. Joker's voice rings out from above, listing out all the things he's done, all the lives he's taken just in this one plot. And Batman says this:
"Every decision you've ever made ends with death and misery. People die I stop you, you'll just break out and do it again.
It's almost as though he's recognizing the futility of it all. Batman will stop the Joker, but only after he's already hurt people, after he's already killed and maimed innocents who didn't deserve it. He'll lock him up, but he'll just come back. And then, after recognizing the futility of his own mission, the Joker stabs him in the back, causing him to drop the cure, the glass vial shattering on the floor. He might have done it out of fear that Batman may actually let him die this time. Maybe it was just a compulsive action, a joke he couldn't refrain from telling. Either way, it's an impulsive decision characteristic of emotion itself. And it kills him. And you would think that would be the end of it. Reason has won out, the Joker is gone, emotion is gone. But I want to call attention to how this shot, where Batman is carrying the Joker out of Arkham City, mirrors one from the very beginning of the game. In the Catwoman DLC, the very first shot shows a painting called The Duality of Man that depicts Kane holding the dead body of his brother, whom he murdered. And this shot perfectly mirrors the shot of Batman holding the Joker's dead body, with Batman in the place of the emotional murderer Kane. The Joker may be dead, but emotion still lives on within Batman, even if only the smallest amount that lets him feel his failure. Batman is left with nothing but despair and his mission, fighting a war he cannot win.